Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Leonard Facts. In today's session, we will look at one of retailers and everyone's favorite stock, CDSL. What we'll do is in a short video we'll go through quickly. We'll look at its fundamentals, a quick analysis of fundamentals, and we'll quickly look at technically where does the stock stands now and what can we expect from CDSL going forward. All right, let's get started, guys. So what we'll do is that we'll quickly go through the fundamental analysis of CDSL. For that, I'll hand over the mic to my good friend Amit. Amit, over to you.
Thank you, Sumit. So CDSL, right? This stock and I'm going to have a lot of correction in last. Precisely, if you look at from in particular around 1615 and it's hovering around 1000, right? So based on that, the primary looking at based on all those fundamental ratios, I'll look at the fundamental, then I'll pass on to Sumit for technical part, whether it's a worth a buy or looking at all the perspective, okay, one by one quickly. So now we started. If you look at here, right, what are you looking at, right? The stock is trading at a P of 35.7. Return on capital is quite healthy, that's 41. Price to book value is slightly expensive, and that's 9.63. Quick ratio is very healthy. That means company is very financially strong. Okay, and now with the Graham number, we had posted another video on Graham number. We can just go and watch there. So essentially, in one line, what does it mean? Graham number said based on his valuation metric that it should be 254 should be the current price. Okay, but it's 999, so it's overvalued as per Graham theory that he believes in. Okay, as a book of intelligent investors. Now, apart from what you want to look at. Debt equity, that's a very good thing. The company doesn't have a debt. Now we get into the peers part. This is a default screen of screener. The company almost debt free. I look at few things. Debtor days also 38 to 30. That means essentially they're getting money back quickly compared to the previous 38 days. They were getting the money. The cycle for if you understand the accounting, what happened? There's a cash payable, there's a cash receivable. So here we're talking about a cash receivable by a company, right? So now the company was receiving in 38 days. That was the cash conversion cycle. Now it has improved 30. That's very good. So now when we look at the peers, unfortunately from the peer perspective, it doesn't do a great job, screener, but that's fine. We'll ignore it for. The only exchange I can see here would be a multi-commodity exchange, another exchange. So look at the company have 2.93 is a negligible debt. We don't want even know. But what we look at that, this has a great return on it, 25%. I mean above. Of course, it depends upon the industry segment, but 25% is a pretty good number. Again, 31 is a healthy number. Interest coverage, see how healthy is company in terms of balance sheet, because it doesn't have a debt, right? So that also explains 3.21. So what I'm looking at, the company cannot go bankrupt. You might counter me saying CDSL is in depository, should not go. But there is another depository in India, just to let you, that's called NSDL, but that's not a listed entity. That's fine. ROC is again healthy. But just looking at fundamental, should we decide on a company, should we buy or not? Probably not. Okay. So we'll now look at the other factors, right? Now look at this part, right? This is December 2019. That's a 16 crore. Since exchanges are running on a Monday to Friday, look at the number, right? How much time it has grown in the space of around 3+ years. Look, from 103 from operating to 85, so it's declining, and probably that explains to an extent why price is going down. Okay, but what we should also look at, the operating margin is very healthy. Okay, even with 103 or 85 and even 38, they have improved that, and with the no date, company at least deserve attention, right? Whether you want to invest in this company or not, look at the EPS. It's growing. Yeah? It's growing. Yeah. I'll say the upper trend. Of course, from 8.2, it has gone a bit down, but that's fine. Yeah. Now, what do you want to look at? Any other factor? Look at sales growth, right? TTM telling last 4 quarters. And then 3 years is 41%, 5 years 30%. Profit growth is wonderful. Stock price, look at that's the correction we're talking about, right? From that range of 100,615, if I'm not wrong, it has gone down. So now the question here to be what else you want to look at, right? Look at cash from operating activity. Wonderful, it's growing. It's growing from 2011. It's growing. Are they also doing certain investment? Probably yes. Let's see what they are doing. What exactly they're investing. So they are buying investment. We have to see what exactly this component is. Might we have to get into the details of that, what it would be, because they're buying and then they're selling something. Whether these really are operating cycle something, I mean they're doing something for operational efficiency or some other investment, you have to get into detail. That's the one thing. Otherwise, we're talking about, right? Cash conversion cycle. It has from 38 dimension. Probably they're looking at this window. No, it's 30. This is a pretty healthy ratio. In 30 days, the company is getting the cash back. Okay, that's wonderful to have. Now, looking at all the parameters, the company looks good, okay, but you understand, right? When people go and buy, just to explain the context of CDSL, if you are not aware. So once you book your trade from Upstock, Zerodha, or any other, right? Once you buy a stock, there has to be a bookkeeping, right? For example, you have bought HUL, right? That entry is maintained either CDSL or NSDL, right? That's your depository. They keep the records. Once I sell the stock to someone, what happens? The recipient there change from me to, let's say, example, Sumit, right? If I sell in the stock, and so now the depository, those bookkeeping is maintained by those two entities. So it totally depends, right? The charges that they have associated with the bookkeeping, and that's how these companies get the revenue. Depository companies in India. So what we are looking at this part that Smith will now pick from there. Fundamentally, my judgment would be it's good. Any concern? Yes, it looks to be stagnant. That company should be in portfolio. My answer would be yes. But you'd have a low beta stock. That's how I see it. So you can have it. A certain allocation could be made, but yeah, that's completely your take, right? This is our suggestion, right? We are not, authorized to tell you buys. Just company deserve attention. Maybe yes. What could the buying labels and all? Of course. Now I'll pass on to Sumit, and he will pick up. He'll look at the technical aspect, how healthy or with a downturn or upturn it can get into. With that, thank you, Sumit. Let's hand over to Sumit here.
Okay, thanks, Amit. Thanks for this quick fundamental analysis of CDSL. Meanwhile, let me quickly, open the chart for CDSL. Just give me a second.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so here we are. Right. So this is CDSL on daily chart. Anyone looking at it will say that the stock is in downtrend, but we are talking about investment here. You have already looked at the fundamentals. We'll be taking multiple perspectives of the stock. How is it looking? And probably if I have to invest, and when I say invest, I mean for longer term, not for single positional. What should I do? So before analyzing, what it's doing on daily time frame, let's look at a larger time frame and see what really has been happening with CDSL. So let's quickly look at the monthly chart. Here it is. Now this looks wonderful, right? I mean, from around April 20 till around December 21, you can see a secular uptrend on the stock, which is excellent, giving around over 600% of return. Amazing, excellent return. Now, at this point in time, right, if I have to take a decision, right, and that decision can be that I am already invested, or I maybe a new investor. Now, if you are already invested at some lower levels, fine. or if you know have gone through the fundamentals and you're convinced that this company will grow, and I would want to be an investor with this organization and would want to grow with it, right? Then what should we do? Now, simply looking at the monthly chart, what we see here is that it is at a very crucial juncture from a monthly standpoint. You see here, right? So you see it is mostly standing at a support or a monthly support sort of, right? Otherwise, you can see that it is going with a secular downtrend, essentially. Now, what should I do here? Uh, Probably what I'll do here is that, I'll wait and I'll see what it does there. For example, right? If it makes a doji candle here on a monthly, right? And then the journey starts upwards, right? Probably I'll be interested in the stock, and then I'll start of accumulating and start thinking of accumulating the stock. Else, if it falls down, then I see at least this going towards this level. Let me have the box here. It will this range itself here. You see the monthly consolidation here.
Mm-hmm.
So if this stock goes down, right, I see at least it is going down to 560 level or 480 levels, because that doesn't really look to be a support here at this moment, right? So what should I do as an investor? I should at this point in time look at what it does at these levels essentially. Let me get rid of this line. Let me pull this here and sort of increase the range here, right? I should probably be wary of these ranges, essentially, 900 to 1000 level, and see what it does, and observe what the stock prices does.
So,
Now, this is monthly analysis.
okay,
Now,
just one question here. Can we say that this level that currently it's somewhere around 991, right? This support, and then the next support that I see around 510 or something, I'm not quoting exact range. Is this 510, can we say that is stronger support than the current one 991 in some way, or no? We can't conclude that. Yeah. What's your take here?
yes. By simply looking at the consolidation, I would place my bet at this level.
Okay, okay.
Because this is wherein it looks like that many people consolidated, and when the supply was over, the price went up. This is sort of a weaker support, I would say, on monthly. On weekly, when you look at it, probably you would go ahead.
Okay, that's perfect then. Get into weekly then, if that would be great for our viewers. Yeah, please go to that.
Yes. Okay. Now let's look at weekly. What it is doing. Okay. Again, same pattern you can see, right? So weekly, you can see some consolidation here, and it's standing at the same price. The weekly consolidation of at least 4 to 6 weeks, right? And then it moved up, and it is still in the range. When you talk about that range, if you look at this weekly candle here, let me quickly mark, right? And it is more or less in this range itself, right? You can see, and it is heading downwards. Essentially, let's say if it would have broken this range, or let's say this range, this would have been in a very, very healthy state. But at this moment, we see that this weekly range is also getting broken. So our last line of defense in a short term would be this: if you are holding the stock and it even breaks this level, probably if I am holding the stock, I will certainly exit. I will certainly exit and look for another opportunity to enter if the company keeps on performing. For example, let's say after a quarter or so, we see that earnings are again being looked at favorably, right? Or there is committed buying. Then perhaps this is the range. Again, the range on monthly that we looked at, right? It's more or less the same, right? Perhaps I'll try and accumulate at this range. But for now, even on weekly, it looks like there's some sort of distribution going on, perhaps, right? And we may see some sharp selling here, until unless there is committed buying coming in here. So that's how it looks on a weekly amount.
Yeah, perfect. Do you want to add anything here, or sorted?
Let's look at daily too.
Okay,
because
perfect,
it is
perfect.
important, right? Someone wants to plan a swing trade or in it, even from a swing trade perspective, right? Even from a swing trade perspective, this chart looks very weak. It's mostly, forming a lower high, lower low sort of formation, right? So generally, it's visible on weekly, right? If I'm a new investor and if I want to invest in this stock, I will look for some sort of reversal and at least, these levels to be cleared, essentially, right? To make to at least these levels to be cleared to make sort of new entry in the stock. Otherwise, if I have already invested, I will look to exit at this point of time. Another
Here,
quick thing, yes, yeah, please go ahead.
please go back to the previous screen because it seems to me I could be wrong. Just yeah, I see 991 is a support again on this number, right? I don't know, July
Yes.
2020. So now with that, still is a weak support according to you, or it is a stronger one? No, considering
Yeah.
this in mind.
So, so let's say if you are only planning to take this trade for a month or two, right, maximum 3 months, right, and if you see some sort of reversal from this range, so I'm talking about this. So this is kind of consolidation, right? It can go up or it can go down. We don't know, right? We are not in the prediction business.
Yes,
Now
exactly.
let's say if this, yeah. Now in this consolidation, let's say the stock moves up, right? And you are someone who is looking for, let's say, a swing or a very short position of, let's say, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then you should start, accumulating, and probably your target should be, somewhere around 1164 or something.
Okay.
If it goes beyond that, it goes beyond that. But if that is, how you want to play, right? But if it breaks down this level, certainly I wouldn't advise anyone, at least I wouldn't, start accumulating ticker at this point in time. It will depend how it behaves at this level, because this is a support, at least there is a support there.
So technically, your advice is to just wait. Technical perspective, yeah.
Yes, wait and watch. And there's something that our viewers should be wary of, how the stock behaves. So we look at the monthly chart, right? Why we did this techno analysis, right? And why we looked at all the data that Amit showed. Now look at this monthly chart, right? Just expand this a bit. At the bottom, this is stating you, by the way, the analyst, right? At the bottom, look at the earnings. You see the red and the green. Green means, that probably it was considered a good result. You will have to do a detailed analysis, guys. Just I'm saying, guys. Look at the colors. Red, green, green. So probably, it started faring well. The stock was still in downtrend, but stock started moving, and you look at the earnings, right? At least for 4 or 5 or 6 quarters, you see here the earnings were beyond expectations, or at least till expectations. And see what the stock did. It did wonders, right? So always, even with technical analysis, if you are looking for something for a longer term, look at what the company is doing. Is it growing or not? And this is a very, very good indicator. The earnings, right? How they behave. If the company is the company growing or not. As simple as that. Now, and when you start looking at this sort of distribution page, you see that erratic, let's say earnings surprise or whatever we may want to call it, right? Maybe the market is in line, or maybe whatever the earnings here reported are already priced in. We don't know, right? But see what's happening when there is erratic earnings report. So if I have to invest, I'll wait and watch. If I'm already invested, I'll certainly exit beyond this level, at least around 900 to 950 levels, but goes below this. So that is it on CDSL, guys. Amit, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sumit, for the wonderful explanation. And that's, in a way, advises our viewers to do their own analysis and then come up with the final whatever they want to do. So with that, Sumit, what I'm just adding, I just see a few quite useful for our viewers to be. So this is a trend line, and they have certain quick list to go over. So Graham checklist, there that was explained in my other video. So they can go over and do their own analysis on that. But what I wanted to just quickly add into the what ratio you discussed. You can always go to this trend line checklist and see what matters to you, which, because there are a lot of fundamental ratio that you rely on, but not everything, for you something, return on asset could be important, right? Now look at this quickly. Okay, company has its consistent profit growth last 8 quarters. No, that's answer to whether the company is growing or not, and that also explained on the chart by Sumit, right? Why it has going down in such way from that level, right? A company has seen consistent sales growth last quarter. No, these two are in a way red flag. I mean, not red flag from the fundamental perspective, but yes, from the company growing perspective, that you want to invest for long term or short term, that decide. All other factors we already discussed. Quite a healthy number. Promoters are fine. Any other red flag that you would be interested in? Let's see if something stock has positive breakout. Now that it also explained by Smith already. Look at this last one. A stock has active positive breakout? No. And that's what Smith is trying to emphasize, that we have to look at the next set of it's a pattern that's emerging on the chart level technically. Yeah, so this is something I wanted to just add on to wrap up the entire thing. Hope this was useful, and if you like content here, kindly like and subscribe. Thank you for your time here. Cheers.